And good morning and welcome to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at
the fabulous Arizona Center for Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Indeed it is.
We made it.
Happy Wednesday to you as you're just getting ready. You're right on the hump of the week, and from here, there's other days, but we're here.
There's other days.
There are other days, but we're focusing on today.
I always think about, do you remember in Winnie the Pooh when he goes, Happy Wednesday, Owl? Because it's really windy, and he thinks it's like a windy day, Wednesday. I know, it's funny.
And it's not that windy today, so.
It was when I walked in. My hair went like, I don't know why I bother sometimes.
Well, I was watching my shadow as my hair was like.
I noticed your hair's back the other way again now.
So, well, I got a haircut.
Oh, okay.
So it's doing its own thing. I don't know. So.
It's always a surprise which way it's going to flop.
Indeed. And speaking of flip-flopping and things like that, word of the day.
Yay! I really liked last year's. Yesterday.
You're hoping it's like, oh, please make sure that's the last one. Oh, no. So today our word is quagmire.
Quagmire.
Indeed. So it can mean a marshy land or...
A land of you?
No, not a land of me, but just kind of, like swampy.
Yeah, muddy, swampy.
Yeah. Or a difficult, precarious, or entrapping position. A quagmire.
I am bumfuzzled about the quagmire that I find myself in. Bam! There is your sentence.
You go. You know, it's like we should do on a Friday where it's like we try to have
all the words.
All the words
Actually,
for that
that's
weekend.
Really fun. We should do that. That's a fun challenge.
And then maybe set it to music.
Like a spoken word, piece.
And you can tap dance to it.
Okay.
We're just upping the ante.
It's happening. All right.
We're going to up
Friday.
the ante. All right.
I would rather do modern dance, though, than tap dance for that, I feel
You mean like Star Trek when they do those interpretive dances?
Yes.
Lots of scarves and maybe some smoke.
Only if I can incorporate some of your ties.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that.
Deal.
So.
Deal. All right. Well, we've got a couple great guests here for you on this show, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this, so we can introduce you to two of our good friends and people we love working with and collaborating with a whole bunch.
Indeed.
We think you're going to love them too. So keep it right here.
And welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here at
the
fabulous Arizona Center
on this hump day.
Oh, we got singing.
I know, some jazz hands. And, well, because, you know.
Did your coffee just kick in? Is that what just happened?
We also got some friends here, so just kind of hanging out.
We are pretty happy that we have some friends here. We've got Adrienne and Tony here from Pollyn. Hi. Hi, friends. So, okay, well, obviously we know what Pollyn is, but let's start with the obvious. Why don't you share a little bit about Pollyn, what you've created here?
Yeah, so Pollyn is this way of connecting local businesses that really need help getting the word out about the cool things that they're doing and letting people know, hey, there's a new way in which you can discover these businesses. So we do that by creating a platform that connects essentially these local businesses with nearby content creators, people that live in the community. You know, we have students, we have parents, even teenagers that are going out and discovering these new places. At the same time, it's about helping them be able to connect with these businesses even more to let people know these are the cool, interesting places that we should be going to and checking out.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I love about the platform is as a content creator, you don't have to have like 3 million followers, you know, like you can be kind of a micro influencer, hyper local, and that's a benefit sometimes even because you're better able to connect with the community and with the community that the business serves. So I love kind of real life examples here. So can you give an example of like a business and a content creator that have come together to make something cool?
First, I want to shout out to Cubanita's Kitchen in downtown Glendale. We did a video with them a couple weeks ago, and Cubanita is probably the first Cuban restaurant in downtown Glendale.
Absolutely.
They moved in there, and we did a video with them. The story that they shared being on Pollyn is that because of Pollyn, they were able to grow.
Yeah.
And they collaborated with content creators, whether they had 100 followers or 100,000 followers or in between, right? But for the most part, micro content creators in the range of like a couple thousand that that all the followers are local. But the one thing that they said that it didn't matter if they had a lot or a few or more, the fact that they were local, but yet there's some of the audience that never, maybe that 100 or a couple hundred or 1,000 has never heard about their business. And now that's 1,000, now they have awareness.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was affordable for them to work with these content creators, whether through barter exchange or gifted or half and half or monetization. And they used it plenty a lot, and they connect a lot of creators to help grow their business. And they're blowing up. They're partnering up with like the Coyotes and everything now.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
that's great.
Good
Yeah, so
for
you go in
them.
the store, like you go in, and now also when you go to a restaurant, you start seeing plaques of people's jerseys.
Yeah, I love it.
That's one, yeah. So that's a
Is it
success
time to
story.
take your pills,
Yeah.
Adrian?
So that's a success story, but above all, it's building. There's no platform out there that connects creators and businesses to this day. With the creator economy growing, and small businesses needing to bridge into like social media, digital media help, there's no platform. It's still word of mouth. I know somebody that knows somebody. So we want to be the company, the marketplace that streamlines this and become a staple like Airbnb, Lyft, to
Yeah.
fill those services, right? If you don't have
and I think also another success story would be like Central iWorks.
yes.
Where it's
Oh, yeah.
like, small business, they're so focused on what they're doing that they don't really have time to play in that social media realm.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
And so bringing in folks to do that. So I love as I'm going through my feed and it's like, oh, look, there's another content creator who's
Yeah.
working with them to tell their story in a unique way.
Yeah.
Because every creator's going to tell it just a little bit different.
And that's
Yeah.
such a common problem for business owners. Like, they know marketing is important, they know they need to do it, but do they have time to do it?
Exactly.
Like, is a lawyer in a law firm going to go out and do social content? Like, and I think that's what you're providing is basically like, hey, you do what you do well, and we'll help you find somebody who can create content for you and make it amazing, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right, right.
So that was a really
Yeah.
cool gap that you filled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gap, the shoe we're trying to fill, and we want the communities to know that in this day and age, digital marketing is important. To get the word out, to
Yeah.
it's all happening all digital. You as a business owner out there, when you're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or all social media feed, and you see businesses, you see creators highlight these businesses, don't you want your business to be highlighted too?
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I said put in your head to know that there's a marketplace now that will get you that connection of collaborators with the creators that can put your business into social media help and get into the local communities. Right? So.
And,
Yeah.
and how many businesses have tried to create content by themselves? Creating content is definitely a skill and an art.
I know
Yes.
so many of them are so bad at it.
So
yeah.
important.
Yeah. I know, it was so funny because Pat was like trying to look at this restaurant that we were thinking about going to, and he goes on their Instagram and it was like all these videos of just like their menu, like looking at their menu, and he was like, what? But what does the food look like? Like, what is this
What's
the
experience
feel like? Yeah,
like
it
what
was
you
so
share, what
funny.
you guys share. Marshall's all about experiences and stuff like that, and sharing the history and those backbone of businesses that make your businesses special, right? They should showcase. I mean, showcasing the menu is good, but in this day and age of entertainment, we also want to be entertained, and that's what attracts you through these videos.
Yeah. So what's kind of happening with Pollyn right now? Where are you guys at? How do people get signed up?
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely. So it really is this is the year for Pollyn, in my opinion, because we've put so much into it in the last few months in terms of adding the features and functionality to really streamline the whole process of finding each other and be able to kind of collaborate itself. And so now we built all the functionality and capabilities onto the platform. We've got the platform in really good state where it works out really well for the businesses as well as the creators themselves.
Yeah.
So if you're a business owner and you're looking for help with social media content creation, and specifically, again, what we're trying to do is not just social media. We're not a social media agency. We're a marketplace platform that connects you to the creators in what we call user-generated content. So it's not only just leveraging the creators to create content, but it's also leveraging their social connections to help extend the reach, to build that presence and those local connections through the creators themselves.
Yeah, and in practical kind of terms as well, this is great for like if you've got an event coming up, if you've got a special coming up, if you've got a new line of merch coming in.
Yeah.
Those are the things that you can create campaigns. I don't know why I'm putting in air quotes.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
you're
Right, that's good.
you can create a campaign for that
Yep.
event or that special discount or whatever. And it's user friendly. It kind of walks you through, and then content creators basically submit to do your campaign, and then you get to pick who you want to work with. And it's also freedom to decide how much you want to pay, if you want to trade, all that stuff. So it really gives you, the business owner, a lot of control, and then gives the content creators a lot of freedom to be themselves and do what they do best. And it's a great union.
It's a great union, symbiotic relationship. Above all, all in one platform. But above all that is, we're just trying to support our local communities and thrive together, right? And it's a new time and era for digital marketing, and we discovered ways through Local Buzz of connecting with local businesses and communities of what's changing, what's happening, and what can we do to help communities thrive and work together. And I think with Pollyn, our marketplace, it's going to help us keep our local economy going, by supporting each other. So.
Yep, and we're made the platform too so that it's very affordable for a business. Now we're empowering local businesses to do social media marketing through these content creators themselves. And every content creator, when they are working with a business, it's a brand new experience for them. So they're very excited about that. Yeah. And from the business standpoint, there are opportunities to tell what is their origin story and what are they doing unique for the community themselves. And it's not just about, highlighting an event or a special, but every aspect of their business, there's some unique story where we can tell, put together a social media content around.
And I would say that's actually a cool tip to share. If you are a content creator and you get hired by a business through Pollyn, don't just like show in and be like, not shady, but like, just like secretly kind of do your thing. Like go in and talk to the owners, talk to the staff, get to know their stories, take your time and build a relationship, because that's really what makes something shine, So
definitely.
If you're a content creator, it's great if you know what you're doing at a technical level, but it's having that human connection that makes it kind of magical.
And when you do have that human connection, your content is going to be much more better, right? Much more engaging, right? Much more enthusiastic, because you got to know the business, and the business got to know the creator, and it builds this relationship where you guys can have a great synergy pushing out this content to the community that people want to look at and want to know about. So.
And that's what Tony is a legend for. No, seriously. He's like Arizona famous. He knows everybody, cares about everybody that you all work with. Yeah. And then now you've created a platform to be able to help them. That's so beautiful.
Above all, we're here to help and serve the community, and we want to make sure our local communities thrive, our businesses, our mom and pops, and everyone around the corner of the world that loves neighborhood spots,
Yeah.
Those
and one of the things I love about Pollyn is that you're not developing this huge campaign that's going to carry you through, so it's kind of like you can dip your toe in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And kind of, what is this? Yeah. And then kind of, it's like, and develop your own language of how you want to tell the story from the business side to the creator.
Yeah.
And then, and go down the line and maybe have several folks you're working with to tell the story in a different way or tell different stories.
Yep. And I love that
Absolutely.
too. Yeah, because it provides, a marketing expert will oftentimes tell you, do smart experimentation, because you might think what's going to resonate with your audience, but a lot of times you don't. And so this provides you the opportunity to do exactly that. Right. So it's super smart, and it's affordable.
Affordable,
Like, why would you not? Why would you not?
Yeah, $49, $50 a month.
Yeah.
And you can create unlimited campaigns, and you can have a well-selected of local creators that we vet onto the platform.
Business owners love the word unlimited.
But yes, there's a local creators on the list of that we vet on that we make sure that they love supporting local.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They highlight community stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I just want to take a second. I'll try not to cry. I'm a little emotional. No, like Adrian and Tony have been so integral in our success in
completely.
bringing Marshall and I together and encouraging us, helping us. And
The morning show would not be around if
Yeah.
it wasn't for you two.
so thank you for everything
you.
that you both do.
now we're going to continue working
Well,
together.
yes.
We're us here all together.
Right.
Is here to do what we all love doing. Is do it for you guys out there. Do it for the communities, uplift you guys, and highlight your local stories. You know, we do it on the back end, and we're also doing it in the front end. And we're here together to continue to do what we do for the communities. So.
Okay, so real quick before we go to break,
Yep.
thank you. How do they get on Pollyn?
Yeah, so you could go to our site, Pollyn.co, and it's spelled with a Y though, so POLLYN.co. And yeah, go to our website. You could also reach out to me. My email address is adrian@pollyn.co. If you have any questions, especially if you're a business or even a content creator yourselves. And really, you know, let's draw the attention back to our local communities and put the spotlight on all these cool, interesting places that are around Phoenix, you know, and the surrounding areas.
Totally,
Let's
yeah.
thrive together. Let's
And
get some
also,
good
Marshall and I are official ambassadors for Pollyn. So if you run into us out and about and you want to know more about Pollyn,
Please ask.
yeah, we'll help
Yeah.
you get
Happy
set
to
up.
share.
Yeah, so lots of different ways to get on the platform. But thank you so much for being here, both of you.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much for having us.
And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. We have another guest for you, so stick around.
I like these boots.
Thank you.
They were made for. Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're here
at
at
the fabulous Arizona Center.
We're still figuring out which camera to look at after almost 100
I
episodes.
know, because every time it's like, it seems like it's always different.
I think we're
So,
this one.
Are we that one?
I don't
or
know.
that one?
Whatever. We'll just
Oh, I
look
think
at all
we're
of them.
that one because
all
I'm
at the
pointing at
same
it,
time.
so.
What? We're on this one
I think
now?
we're on that.
Why does this happen? Whatever.
You know, there should be like a little, like what was the thing in it? What was a little red balloon?
Yeah.
There should be like a red balloon so that way we know which camera.
Or something. Yeah. Oh well. You know what? When you know it, I don't know. Okay, whatever. I was going to tell a stupid joke, but I won't. Okay, well, we are actually
no,
here.
not you and a stupid joke. No.
Hey, that's usually you, to be fair.
Yeah, it is.
We've got a great guest here with us. We have Diana. Hi, Diana.
Hello, it's so good to be here.
Good to see you. I feel like everybody's wearing purple this week.
I know, we didn't get the purple memo.
We
It's
still
like-
have time. Tuesday, Friday, we could all wear purple.
True.
Okay. So, Diana, you are an intuitive healer and a love coach.
Yes.
What does that mean? What exactly do you do?
So my focus is helping people to manifest their dream relationship and like release blocks, release all of the stuff that's getting in the way of that. So through, energy healing and intuitive guidance along with the practical dating tips.
Yeah.
I always say I'm like the female Hitch, if you've seen that movie Hitch with Will
I
Smith.
have. I really like
I'm like
that.
a combo of
Yeah.
that with like a spiritual healer. So I got my crystals, and I'm going to tell you like what to text him back.
I love it. Okay. Where
And how
were
long
you
do-
when I
and-
was single? Oh my
And how
God.
long to wait before you text back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, see, I'm not a game player. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it's all about energy, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're in this like anxious, heightened state and you're sending a message, it's gonna come across differently than if you've like had a bath and like you're well fed and you're like, I don't really care if he responds, but this is how I feel. Like
Oh yeah, hunger
peop-
makes a big
yeah.
difference in my mood.
same. Same.
So I'm curious, what are some of the most common blocks that you see in people that are trying to find a relationship?
I would say the number one block is coming at it from their head. So, the traditional dating advice is like, make a list of everything that you want and like analyze it and manifest and focus on it. But if it's not connected to your heart, if it's not connected to being present with somebody, then you're going to miss some of the really important signals
Yeah.
that may not be obvious based
Yeah.
on a list. And if you're like across, the table from somebody and you're analyzing whether they fit the bill versus really just noticing how your body feels with them, noticing how you feel when you leave the date, like that can give you a lot of information.
I think it's really interesting because I'll give you two examples.
Yeah.
So like I have a friend who's been single for a long time now, but she has like very specific criteria, like of, you know, who she wants to date. And it's a lot of it's like physical and kind of surface. Like they must listen to heavy metal music and they must have really long hair and they, you know, all these things. And I'm like, but what if like someone who's really wonderful and wonderful for you doesn't check those boxes? You're just gonna like rate them off? Like I find that so weird.
Exactly. And that's, I mean, part of why that happens is we like to be in control.
Yeah.
And making the list kind of gives you that semblance of control. But like I always tell my clients, if you can slow down before you make the list and like focus on what are some adjectives of how you want to feel with this person. What is the feeling?
Yeah.
Because then there's a number of possibilities that open up. And maybe he's not 6'2", and maybe he doesn't make 6 figures, or she, right? Like, but it's going to be real.
Well, I'll say that's the flip side. So I was talking to a really good friend when I was single, and I wasn't really like desperate for a relationship, but I had dated a lot of duds, we'll say that, before.
A lot of practice people.
Yeah. And so I was kind of like really just focusing on me and really trying to be intentional about if I get into a next relationship, like what I wanted that to actually be like. And she made the suggestion of writing a letter as if like you were already had that relationship and were like showing gratitude. You know, I'm so thankful that I have a relationship that, and so I did that. I wrote that letter, and a month later I met my husband.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool? Like, I don't know. I'm not saying like the letter was all magical, but you know, it was just interesting. I thought.
It also helped you focus. I mean, it's kind of like at one point it was like, okay, here are the physical attributes, and then it's like, well, wait a minute, that's not the important piece.
Right.
It's more the personality and things like that, and like that's more the important piece.
Yeah, because I wrote more of like, I want to be able to be completely open with this person, and I want somebody who's gonna not be jealous because I'm constantly going out to events, and at that time I was acting, and you know, I kind of wrote that kind of stuff. And so
no, that's a really good idea. And I mean, the point is, right, to get you out of your head and into that like imaginative, open space.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with that. Another one that I really love is looking at the people in your life. So often we're focused just on the romantic partner that we're going to manifest. But like, look at your friendships. Look at like who you're being in your other relationships, and see if there's some filtering that may need to happen. Like, are you compromising your boundaries to, you know, keep the peace? I see that a lot. Like, looking at who you're being in every area and making adjustments. That's going to change your energy.
Yeah. So are you, when you say you're like hitched, like are you actually like on call? Like if somebody like has a weird thing happen, they can like text you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not always like in the moment, like in the bathroom on the date.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a portal where they can message me, or like, I'm thinking about sending this. How does it sound?
Okay, yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting. So I'm gonna ask a question that I don't mean it to sound a certain way, but I'm just curious, like, what would be the benefit of working with somebody like you versus like just calling a friend or like talking it over with a friend? Like, what's the difference there?
The first is just having somebody that has the experience. I've seen it all, and I'm not as close to you as your friend, right? So I'm not biased. And I also come with over 13 years of experience doing this. And so I want to see what your blocks are, your specific energy is, and tailor it to you. Like, it's not cookie cutter advice, like you need to wait 5 dates before you have sex with her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can go on Google and get that information and knock yourself out. But if you're still not getting the results, then there's something behind the scenes that's blocking you. I'm really good at zeroing in, telling it like it is, helping you clear that shit and move on.
Yeah, I like that. That's really cool. How did this become your thing?
So I always joke, like, I feel like it chose me. So I come from a long line of healers from Venezuela and Colombia, but I never, thought that I was going to do like intuitive work.
Yeah.
And people kept asking me about the relationships, and I felt like such a fraud, to be honest, because my own relationships were just like a mess in my 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
But like when they sat across from me, I could tune in and like see things that they couldn't see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know why I'm getting this, but this is coming up, and they would be crying or like, I haven't told anybody this, and so I just kind of niched down
Yeah. Yeah.
to relationships and love. And now, you know, I met my wonderful husband 3 years ago.
Yay.
Neither of us thought we were going to get married.
Yeah.
I actually thought he was joking when he proposed, 'cause, like, I was in such a bad mood. I'm like, can we just get on the airplane and go back? But he's like, I want to take you to this park that I went to when I was a kid. I'm like, do we have to go? And he, you know, got on one knee, and I looked at him and I'm like, are you really, like, really? Like, and he's just, his face fell, and I'm like, of course I'll do it with you. Like, yeah, let's do this.
Honestly, I love normalizing engagement stories like that, because like one of my best friends had a very similar, like she was so pissed at him like all day. She was like crying in the car, and then he was like kind of same thing, like, no, there's this special spot I want to take you, and then she was like,
Why?
really? You're doing this today? Like, I think that's so funny. And I can't, now that I'm older, I feel like people keep sharing those kinds of like stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
The
funny.
heavens didn't part. I was just like, really?
Right. It's not the viral video that now millions of people
Yeah.
are going to watch and be like, oh.
I gotta say, my husband did good though. He sent me on a scavenger hunt.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and it was really fun. I ended up like, we had lunch with his parents. We went miniature golfing with my parents.
Oh, wow.
I think I got a massage, and then we went to like South Mountain, and yeah, it was like this full day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thing. Yeah, he was really thoughtful about it. So
I love that. I mean, there were so many cool things that happened that day. Like, one that I just feel called to share is it was in this beautiful Japanese garden.
Yeah.
Right? And like, we go back to his mom's place, and, you know, we show her the ring. And she's like, did you know that that's where your older brother proposed to his wife?
oh, cool.
And neither brother knew.
Ew, yeah.
And it was the exact same spot.
Oh, weird.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, okay, so how do people get to work with you? Is there like an application process?
There is. So you can, I'm like, I take everybody. No,
I was
don't.
like,
yeah, so you can go to my website, which is just deannadurrell.com or
Okay.
thedancinggoddess.com if you like
Ooh.
the dancing thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, you fill out an application. We hop on a call. It's like 30 minutes, totally
Okay.
free to just see kind of where you're at, what your goals are, and if I am the right person and you're the right person to work with.
I love that.
Yeah.
So is this like, where are people at usually when they're thinking about working with someone like you? Like,
Yeah, so most times they are been out of a relationship for a while. Maybe they've been divorced for like a couple of years, or just out of a breakup. And so they're kind of in that place of, I know that I desire a partnership, but it's been so long, I don't even know how to navigate the apps.
okay.
When I was married, there weren't apps, you
Yeah.
know? And so it's kind of having that sidekick, and then also somebody who is on the spiritual path. So I'm not the right person for you if, like, I say the word angels and you're just like, okay, she's crazy. I can
Yeah.
recommend 10 other coaches for you.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
yeah.
I love that you're very direct about that
Yeah.
too. Yeah. So I hear you have a retreat coming up.
I do. So it's called Soothe Your Soul in Sedona.
Ooh.
Because one of the biggest things I found is when we can, like, calm our mind and really tune into who we really are, away from the noise of the world, like, we can create anything we want, whether it's a relationship, a business. And so creating intentional sacred space for people is very important to me. And so
yeah.
this is a very intimate retreat. It's only up to 6 people.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm excited to take people on vortex hikes.
Yeah.
And we're even going to go to a wolf sanctuary so they can tap into their
I've
power.
heard about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And of course, delicious food and time
Super
to
cool.
relax as well, because that's important.
Do people have to have already like worked with you as a coach before they can go in the retreat?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. I kept it open, and you can find all the information on my website.
Great.
So yeah, it's going to be May 18th through the 21st in Sedona.
Oh, beautiful.
And will they get a howl with the wolves?
They will get to howl and cuddle if they want. All the wolves are domesticated.
Oh, wow.
They can dance with the wolves.
Have you seen it, the sanctuary?
So I grew up near a sanctuary, but they weren't domesticated. They were
okay.
They were the wild.
they were the
Yeah.
wild, and so they would do this howl with the wolves, and so it was really cool. You got this call and response,
That's cool.
and so.
Ooh, I like that.
And I found out about them because I was driving and hit a deer.
Oh.
And so on the side of the road, there's this deer. And so I was like, well, what do we do with it? And somebody said, well, there's this wolf retreat. And so that's where it wound up going. And then I was like, oh, well, now I want to go hang out.
Eat. I was like, I don't understand. Why is
Oh,
the
yeah, no,
deer
because it was,
going-
right, because it was food.
It all goes back to food.
It took me a second.
It goes, right, it
That's
goes
really
back to
all
food.
we care about.
So, but then it was like, but that then got me to actually go and experience this.
Yeah.
And it was such an incredible thing to be able to howl with them. And,
That would be.
one of them one person would start, and then you would get the animals engaging as well.
I always think about, like, I know it's not quite the same thing, but kind of, like, when I go to the powwows, like ASU just did their powwow, and they do the drumming and the chanting. There's something, like, so primal.
Right.
Yes.
That, and I've never done something like that. Like,
You should come to the
yeah.
retreat.
Okay.
Yes.
No, but I just think it would be kind of similar to Howling with the Wolves.
Right.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's everything to get in touch with yourself.
Right.
Right?
It's like almost like a primal connection.
Yes.
yeah. Well, I've so enjoyed chatting with you,
Yeah.
learning
So
about
nice
what
to
you
meet
do.
you both.
Yeah, no, this is great. So if you are at all interested in working with, so it's Deanna, it's not
Deanna.
Deanna.
It's so
okay.
confusing.
No, it's okay. I feel bad because I said Diana very confidently when I first introduced you. So if you are interested in working with her or going on the retreat, please reach out to her. She does have phenomenal energy. I'm sitting right next to her, so I can feel it.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, and I just think this is such a cool thing to have in your life if you are in that place where you're seeking partnership, having that support from somebody who, like you've said, seen it all and isn't going to judge you
Yes.
for any of that. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this with our
Our shtick.
puzzles. Yeah.
Our shtick. Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I am Marshall Shore.
And I am Melissa Farley, and we're here at the
fabulous Arizona Center. Indeed,
Let's try
we
to match
are.
your tone.
Just kind of, I'm like, well, because it's just so funny because the whole White Lotus thing, everyone's now like all about the odd way of enunciation.
You're trying to find your own.
Yeah, so just trying to find my own way of enunciating. So could it be sling blade type thing or?
Okay.
So who knows? There you go. Life is like a box of chocolates.
Well,
Unless you stick your finger in it, then you know what's in it.
that's true. That is
But
a
you stick
valid
your finger in
point.
the bottom of it, so that
Yeah.
way nobody can tell.
I know.
So
I never did that as a child because I was a nice little girl. Until I don't know.
I was
what
going to
happened.
say, and then what happened?
I don't know.
And then you came Melissa. Well, there
Then
you
I
go.
became me.
Well, on that note, let's talk about things that can make you you. Let's talk about some history.
Okay.
All right, so Arizona has lots of things that people like to go see and do.
We do.
What do you think is the number one reason why people come to Arizona?
The Grand Canyon State.
Indeed, it is. It is the Grand Canyon State, and on this date, back in 1920, the Grand Canyon National Park was dedicated. So all those people that got to see, postcards that were in full color.
Yeah.
Before that was just black and white, and so they did a huge event on the South Rim that brought together our governor at that point, the first head of the National Park Service, and it also marked the arrival of automobile tourism, people driving through the Grand Canyon.
Well, not into the.
Well, not in, but there were roads, and so they were.
Yeah.
That was kind of then you suddenly were able to tour it in a different way than ever before.
Yeah.
It also led to the infrastructure, leading to better roads, facilities, and rangers throughout the 20s, and really elevating it to what we now know as our most popular tourist location in all the state.
Yeah, it certainly is.
So
I forget, have you been down to the bottom?
I've not. I almost had a gig where I would have been working with the Havasupai reservation.
Okay.
And they would have helicoptered me in and out.
Yeah.
So, but that didn't come to fruition, so.
Yeah, I don't think I could do the backup part.
Well, that's why I like the idea of the helicopter.
Yeah.
It's like they take you down and they bring you back.
Well, we did that for Havasupai Falls. Well, we hiked down, and then Pat had surprised me and got the helicopter up, and I was so glad he did. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm just not, for a hobbit, I'm actually not made for long distance trekking.
Trekking up them rocks.
Yeah, that was did not do well.
All right, and let's talk about some other things we could be celebrating today.
Okay.
So when I started college, my initial goal was I wanted to focus on children's advertising.
You did?
I did. That was going to be and it was like, and they all told me I was crazy because like, oh, that's never going to be a thing. But on this date, back in 1952, it is Mr. Potato Head Day.
Woohoo!
Because on TV ran the very first commercial for children's television, which I think we have going on right now.
Hey, it's Hasbro. Hasbro makes toys. What's new, Hasbro?
Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with their own cars and trailers. That's what's new. See, Mr. Potato Head has a car and boat trailer. And there's a car and shopping trailer for his wife, Mrs. Potato Head. It's such fun to do and so easy. Like this. Take any fruit or vegetable. Just stick in eyes, then ears, and then the mouth. You can make the funniest looking people in the whole world. Potato Head people look different every time.
See,
you
and
make
right.
them.
Well, that
Mr.
was
and
the
Mrs.
whole
Potato
thing.
Head with cars and trailers come in $1 and $2 sizes.
What else is new, Hasbro?
And so, yeah, I mean, the original Mr. Potato Head, you actually just got ears and mouth and hat and eyebrows and all that kind of stuff. And so you would just stick it in potato.
It was a real potato.
It was a real potato. And so then it was like, well, wait a minute. It's like, is that really like, what? I mean, you could use up all your potatoes.
Who
And
greenlit this is what I want to know.
and so, I mean, it then became so popular, they decided they need to make plastic potatoes instead of ruining. But the beautiful thing was that any vegetable you wanted, suddenly a cucumber man, a carrot.
So why did the potato head become the thing? Like why didn't the
Because I think
carrot
it was already kind of head-like shaped.
It was too round. So
Yeah.
why wasn't it like a melon head?
And so, well, those are very round. I mean, that's like, well, that's one of that's a Muppet. Dr. Bunsen Honeydew had the round
That's
head.
right.
So,
There's that one in the commercial, the one with the mustache and the eyebrows. I know you don't watch like current TV, but there's this Chili's commercial where this like poor dejected Chili mascot is trying to get hired, and it looks exactly like the potato head. It is so weird.
aww.
Ah.
Well, and then also today is Bugs Bunny Day.
Oh, that's
Because
fun.
on this date back in 1938, there was a short film called Porky's Hare Hunt, and it was the first time that the rabbit that we now know as Bugs Bunny came to. He was actually referred to in this as.
Is that supposed to be Bugs right there?
Yeah.
That's the bunny?
Yep, that was what he first looked like, and he was the
Oh.
happy rabbit.
The happy rabbit.
And
then he
then-
turned into the sassy rabbit.
Exactly, and then in the 40s, he became a wild hare, and that's the Bugs Bunny that we know and love.
It's
But
kind of like my trajectory. The happy rabbit, the sassy rabbit, and the wild hare.
exactly. I mean, and it's also funny because there was a psychological study about memories. And so they basically told people, they showed them a fake ad that included Bugs Bunny at Disneyland.
Okay.
And so I know you're a Disney fan.
Yeah.
And so is Bugs Bunny a Disney character?
No.
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 And so then after seeing that commercial, people went to Disneyland and then had experiences where they swore they saw Bugs Bunny
No.
and met Bugs Bunny.
But he was in Roger Rabbit brought like a bunch of animated
Right.
cartoons from all
Yes,
Universal.
across
yeah,
the,
yeah.
but people said, oh no, I met Bugs Bunny at Disneyland.
No, you did not.
No, they didn't.
No,
So
you did not. The only bunny you can meet at Disneyland is Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh, which I keep bringing up today.
Indeed. And oh my gosh. Okay, so do you like bubble tea?
I do.
So basically today is Bubble Tea Day, also known as boba,
Boba.
or even pearl milk tea. So basically it came about in the 80s in Taiwan.
I wish I could have shown you the visual that went in my head when you said pearl meat tea. Sorry. Okay.
So, but basically it's just brewed tea with milk, and then they put in that tapioca pearl.
Yeah.
And now there's a whole slew of pearls you can get, but some
Oh
of
yeah,
them-
you know,
so-
different flavors. And,
Yeah, and there's
yeah.
so many places. Some are really good, some are not so good, but you know.
Yeah. Some of the places I think are way too sweet, and it's like almost.
So
hard
you
to
know, so
drink.
I did discover that in a good boba place, you can adjust the sweetness.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I didn't realize. So I usually just get like 25% instead of like the 100%. It's like just give me 25% of that sugar.
Oh, interesting.
And
I didn't know
so
that.
most
Okay.
places you can do that, and if they
Okay.
can't do it, then it's like I'm like yeah, I'll pass.
Good to know.
Because
Yeah.
I was like I like it, but it's too sweet.
I know. Like a lot of times when I go to a place that's too sweet, it's like I can only take like 4 sips, and then I'm.
And then you're
I'm
done
tapping
because
out,
it's like
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
It's like suddenly your body's like going into sugar shock.
know.
So, and also today is oatmeal cookie day.
And we actually have a cookie.
I know. Look, we have oatmeal cookies.
I don't mind if I do.
So yeah.
These are so giant. Whoa. I made a mess, Marshall.
So basically, you know, oatmeal cookies can be traced back to Scotland when oat cakes were made. And then, you know, it's kind of like, then in the 19th century, it's like people started putting sweetener in them. And then in the late 1800s, Fanny Farmer published a cookbook, and it had a recipe for oatmeal cookies. And so there you go.
I really did make a mess. I like when we actually have the food for the thing that
Well,
we're
yes,
celebrating.
no, I mean, I always like that too, but.
Look, it's almost like as big as my face.
Oh, where's Melissa? Oh, she's hiding behind
Should
her.
we make a potato head out of it?
We could, if only we had little plastic ears. So,
Yum, yum.
indeed. So, happy oatmeal cookie day.
Happy oatmeal cookie day.
Indeed. It's always nice to have something to celebrate with, a physical thing.
It is, especially if it goes in my mouth.
Indeed. All right, so besides eating oatmeal cookies, what are some other things we can do around town?
Well, it is something you would fail miserably at. It is.
I'm like, there's so many of those things. I'm like, oh my
Where
gosh.
did your brain go first? What popped in your head when they said that?
I was thinking dancing.
Oh, close. No, it's
Dancing trivia?
modern music trivia.
Oh yeah, no, it would.
Well, pop music trivia, but it's like Taylor Swift. Oh no, you're okay because they've got, in addition to like The Weeknd and Taylor Swift, it's like George Michael and Madonna.
Oh, see, I would do good at
Okay,
those. It's
all right.
just
No, I see. I lied.
The Weeknd. I mean, I like The Weeknd, but not The Weeknd because I don't know The Weeknd.
I know.
So
So yeah, you can test your music knowledge through the years.
Oh,
I guess
it's
of
at
all
Sugar
things
Bar.
pop. Yeah, it's at Sugar Bar
Nice.
in Chandler at 7 p.m. and there's no cover. So if you're feeling in the mood for some musical trivia, head on over to Sugar Bar. We've also got Rain, a tribute to the Beatles, happening at ASU Gamage in Tempe. So this is basically a band that has achieved note-for-note precision. Yeah, that's the big thing. And so they're going to be playing
Wow.
kind of all of the music from the iconic eras of Sgt. Pepper and the Magical Mystery Tour, kind of all the big hits. They're going to have the classics, reflective favorites, and basically it's just going to be a really, really good time. It is, as you can see from the picture, like a fully produced show and just is filled with nostalgia and good Beatles vibes.
Wow.
Yeah. So tickets start at $20, go up to $125,
Okay.
and it's at 7:30 p.m. Are you a Beatles fan, Marshall?
You know, I like the Beatles. I mean, it's like I grew up listening to them, so.
Yeah. I'm mediocre, like, on them, but I'll say I went to the Beatles Love Cirque du Soleil show in Vegas. I
okay,
thought it was
yeah.
fantastic. I really enjoyed that. But, okay.
Need is love.
Okay. Trade in Beatles, give me a Billy Idol.
Oh, wow, wedding.
Okay, so we've got Billy Idol at Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater.
Oh, wow.
Also happening at 7:30. The cool thing that I'm excited about is Joan Jett and the Blackhearts are going to be joining him for the whole tour. So.
Oh, how cool is that? And look at the merch. You can
Yeah.
get some Billy Idol t-shirts and Joan Jett.
Yeah, and I love that it's a nice day to tour again is the name of the
Yeah.
tour. And it's actually kicking off right here in Arizona. This is their first opening show.
Very cool.
So that'll be a good time, yeah. We've also got Arizona's Black American Barbers screening at the Square at Phoenix at 6:30 p.m. So this is actually an exclusive look at a rough cut screening of Arizona's Black American Barbers. It's a documentary by filmmaker Dallas Teet that explores the deep cultural significance of black barbershops in the state of Arizona. And it's told through personal stories, historical insights, imagery, and it's basically highlighting how barbershops have served as community pillars, not just providing haircuts, but also a space for connection, for activism, and also for cultural preservation. It is actually free to attend this, but they're asking that you RSVP so they can kind of keep track of attendees.
And where is it?
It is at the Square in Phoenix. So it's 113 North 6th Street, Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, that's free. You just need to RSVP, and it's 6:30 to 8:30 p.m.
That sounds really good.
It does sound really good.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we've got Fiesta Time with the Mariachi Band at Broadway Mesa Village in Mesa. This is an afternoon event. It's at 2:30 p.m. So this is kind of a pre-Cinco de Mayo celebration. It's all just supposed to be tons of joyful music, dancing, and community fun at Broadway Mesa Village. Basically, you can enjoy the Mariachi Band and also savor some refreshments, gather with friends and family, and meet some new folks. So it's an hour long starting at 2:30, and it's totally free for the community. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Hump Day is coming kind of on the downward slope for our Hump Day.
That's kind of the point of Hump Days, isn't it?
Indeed. And so, but you know, we do want to hear from you. And you know, the best way to reach out to us, so you have email, hello@onthemorningshow.com, or Instagram @onthemorningshow.
You nailed it.
Indeed.
You did
See,
it.
Look at that. So yeah, see, old dog, new trick. There you go. So yeah, so we love to hear from you. I mean, I know we had Courtney on a few days ago. You can ask Courtney questions. So we also want to celebrate you, whatever that means. You let us know, and we are happy to celebrate with you.
And we are a local show, so if you've got events happening in your community or at your business, we would love to talk about those. You can absolutely send them in. And I just want to remind everybody, we launched our brand new website on themorningshow.com.
That's right.
You can watch all the episodes there. Also reach out to us at On The Morning Show if you're interested in being a guest or want to work with us in other ways. We are open to collaboration. So, okay. Well, it is Wednesday. I didn't get to finish my raisin cookie, so we're going to wrap it up.
So that way you can finish your cookie?
A cookie.
Yeah.
And go play
All right,
with a
and
potato
we will
head.
see you tomorrow as we try to stick little plastic ears in our cookies.
That sounds like something we would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see you Thursday.